Hello and welcome back to the channel and back to our Christmas series where we're making cookies, confections, and crafts. Tonight we are going to dip things in chocolate. So I hope you will come back and join me right after this. You decided to come back and join us. So tonight you may ask, what are we dipping? We're dipping Ritz peanut butter crackers in chocolate. So before we started, I have a little crock pot that I melted my chocolate in. I use the spots here. You don't have to use this brand, and this is easily available at the grocery stores this time of year. So you can find this in most grocery stores around Christmas time. I have a little bitty crock pot that I put half of it in until it melted, and then the other half in until it melted. Now, you don't have to use a crock pot if you don't have one. You can use the microwave, or you can use a double boiler on the stove. I've done the microwave before, but if you have a little crock pot, I highly recommend it, because doing it in the microwave, you risk it caramelizing, and it's really bad for the vanilla flavor. It caramelizes, and then it's very difficult, and it's not really fit to dip anything in. So, but you can do that. Just be very cautious and be aware that that can happen. So if you overcook it, it will caramelize even on the stove. If you put it in the crock pot, it takes a little longer to get it melted, but it stays melted until you're done making your goodies. So that's the advantage of using a little mini crock pot. So, well, before I started, I put the chocolate in there so it could start melting. I lined a baking sheet with parchment paper. Now, you're not going to bake these. This is a no-bake recipe. But putting it on the parchment paper, it keeps them from sticking. And you could use wax paper too, or even aluminum foil. So it helps them to not stick as they harden. And I don't recommend this being a kid-friendly project, just because this chocolate gets really hot and you don't want it dripping on little hands and burning their little fingers. So what the kiddos can do is, while that's melting, they can help you spread the peanut butter on there. Just supervise and make sure they're not putting too much or too little. You want a good amount in there, but not too much. And then another way they can assist you is, after you have dipped them all, they can sprinkle it with some festive colored sprinkles or some colored sugar, anything like that, to make it festive, and they can do that without burning themselves. So that's what I would recommend, helping beforehand, spread the peanut butter, and then helping after they're dipped, garnishing them with some sprinkles. So I've done most of these already, and just a little tip, this is a sweet and salty treat. I love sweet and salty. I'm the girl that dips her French fries in her Frosty at Wendy's, and I know a lot of people do that. If you comment below if you do that, I love it. So this is a sweet and salty treat, which I love. So to maintain that taste, you want to make sure you're keeping the salty side on the outside. You want to put the peanut butter on the unsalted side. And you can tell the unsalted is smooth, and it has the bake marks. And then the other side, you can feel the salt grains. And then up close, you can kind of see it on there. I don't think you can see it on the camera, but you can kind of see it in person. Now, if you don't want a heavily salted taste, by all means, spread the peanut butter on the salted side and leave the unsalted out. I do believe they make unsalted Ritz crackers, and you are welcome to use that if you want to not have that salty taste at all. You don't have to use the Ritz brand. You can use any brand of the round buttery crackers that are similar. You can use store brands. I'm a big proponent of store brands. Most of them taste exactly the same. So let's finish spreading peanut butter on these. So like I said, I laid them out. I put the bottom cracker salty side down so it would be ready. So you're going to get a generous amount of peanut butter. And you're just going to put it right in the center, like so. And then you're going to put it on top of your other cracker. And lightly press, but not too much. You don't want peanut butter oozing out of your cracker because it's going to hinder the chocolate from adhering to it. So if you do get it oozing out, just take your knife and scrape it off, and you will be just fine. So once you spread enough of these, you kind of get the hang of the amount of peanut butter you need. So we've got a few more to spread. I absolutely love most anything dipped in chocolate. And I love the sweet and salty taste. And I told my husband I liked everything dipped in chocolate. And he suggested I dip Brussels sprouts in chocolate. I'm like, are you a monster? You're the reason Santa doesn't like coming to our house. So if you know Santa, tell him that I will not have chocolate covered Brussels sprouts. I'm going to have some delicious goodies waiting for him. So he is more than welcome to come to our house and try these goodies. So, and just ignore my husband being naughty. Okay, we are almost done here. So about, I guess that much. Right in the center, just a light tap, not much. And we're down to our last one. A little bit more than that. I guess you could use crunchy peanut butter if you'd like. I don't. I think it's better with the smooth, but this is your creation. So whatever you would like to do. So these are ready for dipping, and my chocolate is all melty. Now if you have some little tongs, you can use that, or you can use 2 forks and a spoon like I'm using. So my chocolate is ready. You want it to be smooth and melty like that. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go 1 cracker at a time. I'm going to put it in there. I don't know if you can see that in the overhead. I'm just kind of covering it. And then we're going to take our forks, pick it up, let some of the excess strain off, and then put it back on the parchment. And if you want to, you can take your fork and do a little swirly to make it pretty like that. So we're going to dip all of these. It can get messy. So once I get all of these dipped, let me do one more for you right here. And I'm just going to take my spoon, make sure it's good and covered. Make sure all of it's covered. Take it out of the chocolate. Let the excess drip off. Optional swirly. And then I'm going to get the rest of these done, and then we'll be right back. So stay tuned. I've got this many covered, and I don't want them to dry too much before I show you what they look like putting sprinkles on. And I do need to melt a little more chocolate, so I'm going to finish these after I melt some more chocolate. But I just wanted to show you the process, and I will post some pictures of all of them. But I'm just putting just a few sprinkles on here. This isn't to flavor it or anything like that. It's just to give it a little festive look. These are the Christmas colored sprinkles. And you don't want these to dry too much before you stop. So if you need to stop in between dipping them, if you want to cover them, you can call the kiddos in to sprinkle some of them, or you can just do it yourself. But yeah, it does take a lot of chocolate, so just have a lot on hand. If you buy too much, you can freeze it and use it later. If you buy too little, you have to go back to the store and buy more. So I'd rather have more than what you need. So this is what it looks like when they're covered and they're sprinkled. It's very pretty, and they're going to taste wonderful. So please let me know if you tried this recipe, if this is a custom that you do already, and tell me how you like it. And I look forward to hearing from you. So for now, I'm going to leave you, and I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you later. Bye.